Hey, what's up, everyone? If we can get you guys' attention for a second. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Welcome to Beauty and My People, the debut exhibition by Kam Bell, who we all know as Kam Darko, Kam Darko Visuals. I don't even know where to start. I'm trying to think, I always try to think where I first met Kam, or how we first met, or our first encounter, and I really don't remember it, but I remember it was 2021 or 2022 when I moved back to Memphis. And I'm pretty sure I saw his work on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I gotta work with this dude right here. And so more than likely, I'll probably hit him up through Instagram, and since then, we've been really good friends, and we've worked on numerous projects together, photo and video, and it's been a joy watching him grow as a human, a photographer, artist, and a documentarian. When he first told me that he was wanting to put his first show together, when he was planning it out, I told him, I said, bro, you gotta let me curate it, because this is I had curated shows before, but it had only been group shows, and this was my first solo show, and so I was really excited about doing it because it was my first solo show, and it was a good friend of mine's show, it's been really dope watching him, you know what I'm saying, come together as a photographer, as an artist, and I'm trying to think, where do I start? We already know he's from Winstonville, so I think we'll start off right there. You being from Winstonville, Mississippi, along the Delta, along the Blues Highway, Highway 61.
50.
Say what?
50.
50?
51.
50.
Oh,
61. This man don't even know his own highway. So just being from Winstonville and, extending into Memphis, how was it growing up along this highway, and how do you think it shaped the way you see the South between Winstonville and Mississippi and Memphis?
So first, thank y'all for coming here today, this evening. So being from Winstonville, how it has shaped how I view things, how I capture, how I document. Being from the Delta, I feel like everything is really slow. Life is slow, and you really can take the time to appreciate the beauty all around you, really. And that's really my experience growing up in the Delta, growing up in Winstonville. And then knowing that Winstonville, Mound Bayou, like I said, is very close. Knowing that I'm from a community where an ex-slave founded the town, founded the community, made it self-sustaining. There was schools, there was banks. It was called the Jewel of the Delta at one point. Emmett Till, mama came there to seek refuge at one point. This is a safe haven. So I think knowing where I come from has really shaped how I view the world. So coming up to Memphis, I can appreciate the beauty. I can slow down. I can take a step back and look at everything and try to highlight the beauty in the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
I feel it. So just to give a little context, Winstonville, how far is Winstonville from here? It's
maybe hour.
Maybe an hour
15.
Away. Mound Bayou is a really historical place.
Actually, we in Memphis, so it's an hour 30, hour 40.
Yeah. And so the population of Winstonville, how many, just to give y'all a little context about what's the population of Winstonville?
So the population of Winstonville currently maybe a little over 100 people. It's called the Bell Quarters. I'm Kamian Bell. It's called the Bell Quarters. So growing up everybody was my family in Winstonville. Like, we walking barefoot house to house, everybody our family. Like, we got Winstonville in May every year. All my family come through. It's like it's a family reunion. Yeah, very small. So I'm from Winstonville. I was born in Cleveland though, because Winstonville doesn't have a hospital. Of course, it's a population of 100 people. Don't have a hospital. So I was born in Cleveland. I went to school in Mound Bayou. That's these communities are really small. So that's how you kind of.
Yeah, and so just to give a little bit more connection, when he first came to Memphis, Orange Mound was the first community that he was introduced in Memphis. So Mound Bayou and Orange Mound are like really, really similar in their story, because we all know Orange Mound's like the first black, neighborhood formed by black people here. And so we really wanted to make sure, so when he first came to me with the show, he had already had the name for the show. He had a draft of an artist statement written and about 16 photos. But the photos are great. But I asked him like if we could go back through his archive and redo the photos and I kind of rewrote the artist statement a little bit. And doing that, we wanted to make the show kind of tell a story to really match the title, because like he said, like if you've seen the show, you know it's a lot of community, love, resilience, just these everyday black moments in Southern black life. And so the photos that he had originally were a lot of portraits, which is cool, and they were a lot from like photo shoots. But he's a documentarian, so I was like, yo, we need to put some more just natural, everyday life photos in here to kind of speak to the show. And I was going somewhere with this. Where was I going? Now by you. But him being from Winstonville, being in a town of like 100, it's like really tight-knit, kin, family type situation. And so that you can see that in like all the work, pretty much. But anyway, back to the title, Beauty in My People, which feels to me very personal and universal. So like, what does the beauty mean to you in your people, and what does my people mean to you?
Yeah, so this is, I kind of came up with this quote, I've been using beauty in my people for quite some time now. And I knew I always wanted my first exhibition to be under that name. I knew I wanted to be that title. So beauty in my people, that's always been how I understood my work, like when I look at my work, or just how I view. So beauty, starting with beauty, I feel like I try my very best to capture the beauty in everybody. Like I guess it really comes from wanting everybody to have a sense of pride of who they are, when they look at themselves, when they look at the images, a sense of dignity, and knowing that we ain't got to do too much to be, extraordinary. We've gone through a lot just to be here. So yeah, I just do my best to try to highlight that, especially knowing with photography, with black folks in the South, there's been a lot of, typically it's degrading photos, historically, showing poverty, really that's it, showing poverty or showing racism or whatever it may be. So yeah, I feel like it's my obligation to show the opposite. So that's beauty. My people is, really that speaks to everybody that look like me. Everybody that look like me. it speaks to the southern region folks specifically, especially with this exhibition. It speaks to people in the southern region that understand what it's like to be in the South, to live in the South, to commune with others in the South. So yeah, that's where my people comes from.
Nice. Yeah. So one thing I really do like about his work in the show, like he said, a lot of times when we look at black photography, if it's not in the commercial space, dealing with fashion and beauty or cosmetic or whatever, it usually tends to lean towards either historical or hardship. And so that's what I really kind of like about his work and this show. So I do want to ask, you talked about, if you've read the artist statement, there's a line in here, where is it at? His portraits and docu-style images center the everyday lives of black folks in southern communities, those often overlooked yet integral to the region's identity. It's actually not the line I was, oh, my bad.
You look for the juxtaposition?
Yeah, so within these frames lies a striking juxtaposition: tenderness, love, resilience, community, and beauty. Darko captures moments that resist dominant narratives, offering instead a reframing that honors connection and strength. Dominant narratives. So, what narratives about black southern communities do you feel your work pushes against?
So a little bit kind of like what I just said, like a lot of images historically in the South, Black South, is poverty, or it's degrading images, or like I said, showing racism. So, my work fighting against that narrative. Hold on, ask me the question again. My bad.
Actually, because you did kind of answer this just a little bit, let me say this: community. All right, so we already talked about community, like how community is a big part of the work. So, like, how do you translate community through these images?
How do I translate community?
Is it intentional? I mean, I know the answer, but just to kind of give people a little bit of context.
How is community translated through the photos?
Or let me reframe it so you can better answer it. Let me think.
I feel like I could have answered the first one.
Okay.
All right, but I need the question.
All right. So how do you approach each photograph? So do you approach each photograph with like a vision beforehand, or do you discover the image as you're making it?
So typically I'm discovering the image as I make it. Most of the time, the things that I'm documenting is normally things that I view as important to me, or important events, important moments in time that I feel like I want to be there. I want to capture something that I can remember, something that, yeah. So most of the time it's just, I set out to make sure that I'm in attendance somewhere that I think that's important to document. And yeah, really from there it's really, when you gather a bunch of black folks together, like, it's gonna be some beautiful moments no matter what. Like, especially in the South, like, that's just what it is. Like, you gather some black folks and it's gonna be music, it's gonna be dancing, it's gonna be laughter. So yeah, really just positioning myself to be, and just knowing I mean, I'm a part of these communities, like, so it's easy to be able to flow through, to have conversation with people, to be able to document them, ask them, can I capture a photo of them, immortalize them. Yeah, it comes easy. So, yeah, just as I go.
Gotcha. So another part in building this show, location was a big thing as well. Just for one, between Mississippi and Memphis, and most of these images are from some type of community event. So like, which three? Grandma, was it it? The grandmas love this image right here. What was it at?
Free the 901.
Free the 901.
And if we can take a quick moment of silence for Mama Cedillo, and it really just shows. This also shows the importance of documenting moments, because man, I never in a million years would have thought that Mama Cedillo would pass. Like, I never would have thought. So just being able to have this image. And this image is actually going to the family after this exhibition comes down. So after today, this goes to the family. So just like the importance of documenting these moments, her with her grandson, like the family being able to have that moment, it just shows you, like, I always try to take a step back, and when you documenting things, you don't always realize the power and how important it is. But like moments like that, because this is the second moment. This is the second time in me being a documentarian where a friend, or where I've documented a family or their loved one and they pass, and then they reach out and tell me how important it was that I captured that, or how much they value that I captured that moment. So yeah, quick moment of silence for Mama Cedillo. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So you kind of, maybe this is the image, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway. I was gonna ask, like, is there a photo in this exhibition that surprised you while making it, or that became more meaningful to you over time?
Yeah, no, it's definitely the image. It's definitely the image. Yeah, it means so much more. And I've always loved that image from the moment I made it. Like, I've loved it. But it definitely means so much more now, and especially to the family. Like, it means so much more. Yeah.
For sure. So I do want to ask. So Kam has a really strong visual language. If I'm scrolling Instagram and I see a photo, I'll be like, Kam took that. So he really uses these rich, dark tones. He plays a lot with shadows and like these green hues. And that was important in like kind of when we were picking the photos for this exhibition, just with it being about the South and Black Southern life. We have these low, green, lush lands. We wanted to incorporate, in this image right here, one of our homies did this, Richard Eccles. Some of y'all may know him as visuals by the artist. But originally, we wanted to use a plant called kudzu. We wanted to have kudzu throughout the gallery because, kudzu is really from Japan,
Yep.
but it was brought over here to the U.S. and
To fight erosion.
Say what?
To fight erosion.
Yeah, to fight erosion, and it's like it's a dominant plant. So when it grows somewhere, it like takes over, and that's kind of symbolic to us, just with him being from the Delta, and then just with Highway 61. Even though there's a lot of talent in Memphis, a lot of people from Mississippi traveled up and, from Memphis. And so we look at this as like the artery, in the South. And we really wanted to incorporate things that evoke, like, just, that's why we picked this green color for the wall and everything. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So his work, you know, he has a really distinct visual language. How did you arrive at this aesthetic, and what emotional work is at play with this color palette?
So how I got into loving shadows, I mean, shadows really just evoke a lot of emotion and add a lot of character to images. A lot of people shy away from them. I dive into it. It just always shows a lot of emotion, and I think that using that juxtaposition with the dark, with kind of like the shadowy, with the shadows, it kind of speaks to it just speaks to resilience, to shining through the darkness. I feel like even with greens and I don't know. I guess I'm just a earth tone. Like I enjoy earth tones. I enjoy greens. Like I said, being from the Delta, it's heavy greens. Like it's just, as far as you can see, just fields, a lot of greens. So and just in film, like teal is very cinematic and film-esque. So that's kind of how I stumbled upon this. Yeah, the style in which I like to capture these images.
Gotcha. All right. So I do want to ask. So you know this exhibition is heavily centered around the South. So the South is often. Actually, let me ask this question. Do you think someone who grew up in Mississippi or Memphis reads these images differently than someone encountering the South for the first time?
So I feel like these images really translate across the diaspora, like across the diaspora, across different. Okay, so when I went to Clarksdale, and you met them too. We met two women from the UK. One of them was Nigerian, but you know they know who they are. They know if they Nigerian. They know if they we don't know. But they were visiting the Delta or the South for the first time, and they were really blown away by my images, and the images resonated with them. They made connections to the images. Even, I guess I forgot exactly what it was, the specific thing that they told me. I guess just with their experience of growing up in the UK, like different narratives that they have over there. But like I said, it really resonated with them. So I'm like, we were born miles and miles away, and just for my images to still be able to speak to you, and I mean, these are black people, like they just from somewhere else. It speaks to that. Like I feel like these images can speak to anybody.
Gotcha. It's kind of piggybacking off of, immortalizing, like we talked about. Like, can you tell us, like, why it's kind of important, like, for us to document, like, these everyday, like, mundane, just moments?
I feel like at some point in life, for one, we have to take control of our own narratives. Like that's one thing. It's important It was in what I said at the other at my other panel. Like we got to take control of our shit. Like it's ours. We have to take control of that narrative. Also, yeah, it's important to be able to track or be able to look back on just what was going on, like to actually have documentation of what was going on at a certain time. And as far as the ordinary, I feel like everybody is gonna want to look back on the familiar, like what brought them happy times. What I don't know. So like with my work, I'm trying to tap into like certain memories, make certain connections. I feel like I'm kind of getting off track, but family photo books. Maybe y'all look through y'all family photo books now and y'all know how important those images are to y'all. Where would we be today if we didn't have documentation of what went on in the past? That all those things go into like why it's so important to document these moments. And like I said, just trying to make sure everybody sees themselves as beautiful, like with dignity. Like we've been through, like the fact that you standing here today is a result of resilience. Like some type of way your ancestors made it through. So be proud of it. Like, yeah, you should walk with your head held high knowing that. So, yeah.
Nice. All right. Can you tell us a story behind one photograph in this exhibition that people might not fully understand just by looking at it? You don't even know his own work. That's crazy.
It really would have been the Mama Cedillo one, honestly. It would have been that one. Yeah, all these other images are they're moments that I stumbled across, except for this one. This one was a project by Breezy that I captured, but
Y'all, we didn't struggle, but this is like the main piece to the show, and so we were debating about this piece, and let me see that. I forget the name of it.
It's number 7.
Number 7. Mama's Boy. That image right there. Like I love this image. I do.
But in terms of the exhibition and speaking to what this exhibition is, Breezy felt like Mama's Boy really spoke to what this exhibition
this one does too.
It does.
But that one to me was like it had everything in it. Location, the family, community, resilience, like it was everything in one.
Yeah, the working mama, like yeah.
And it's not opposed. It wasn't a posed photo. Even though they're posing in the photo, but it wasn't a planned, photo. Whereas, this one,
it was a project.
It was a planned thing or whatever. But so that kind of brings me now to like, as your work continues to evolve, what questions are you asking now that you weren't asking when you first picked up a camera?
So really now I'm just trying to be as intentional as possible. Especially, so of course, Especially with like venturing into, I mean, I'm a filmmaker too, so just really trying to think about what I want people to see. Like, what do I want to, I mean, because with film, you have people's attention, and I want to give them something that means something. Like, so yeah, just really being more intentional. Because of course, when I first picked up a camera, it's just a lot of stuff going on. You're just trying to learn, but as you get more into, you know, more set into your artistry, you wanna really lead the people with something, and you want them to understand you more. You want them to understand themselves more. Yeah, so that's what it is.
All right. So with that being said, what do you hope people carry with them after they leave or see this exhibition?
I'm hoping that you said what would they carry with them?
Yeah.
Kind of like what I said, a sense of pride, a sense of dignity, just knowing that there is beauty in the everyday. There's beauty in them. Yeah, I want them to have a sense of pride in being from the South, being Southern. I want them to connect more with their community. Yeah, all that.
All right. So I'm gonna ask maybe like two more. Hold on, let me see.
Open it up for questions.
Let's see. If your younger self, this is like my favorite question. If your younger self from Winstonville walked into this gallery today, what do you think he'd say?
That's a good question. My younger self, I don't know what he would say, but I definitely know he would be amazed, because I didn't know, growing up I didn't know I was an artist until later on. So I would know that this is possible. So I mean, that speaks to a lot itself, just being a little boy from the Delta, just knowing that this is possible to accomplish. I think he would be very, very proud of me.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. What's
Open it up for questions.
You said you had a question for me. What was your question for me? Oh, you go. Or do y'all have any questions
Before I ask him his question. Okay. First question here.
It's very basic, but I think it's important to know. But like, where did you get your start with photography? Like, what made you want to pick up the camera?
We sure did. But yeah.
So I feel like as long as I can remember, like from the very beginnings, I didn't know what this was, but music got me into photography, videography, film. Music really was my first love. So like, I just love music. I remember just no matter what was going on, whenever I hear a song, I would visualize things, like, and I would see, like, I would make a music video in my head. I can remember doing that, like, the earliest of ages. So with that already being instilled in me, I guess at one point I wanted to be a chef, and I feel like all that stuff is just like, you're creative, you just kind of, yeah, you just, some type of way you're gonna have a way to have an outlet, some type of way. And when I got into college, I kind of bounced around from major to major, didn't really know what I wanted to do, really didn't want to be there for real. And then I thought about it, I was like, I always had, I love music. I always visualize things. I'm always, yeah. That's really what it was. It was that, and I was like, maybe I should try to pick up a camera. Maybe I should try a camera, and then I went to I think I did a elective. It was a TV production class, and yeah, from that class, I was like, I declared my major in broadcasting. It was like my third year of college. I declared my major in broadcasting. I was like, if I'm gonna be around cameras, if I'm gonna finish college, I have to be around cameras, because it's no other way I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it out if I'm doing something I don't care about. So yeah, that's how I picked up a camera. Yep.
So is there, with Breezy curating the space and all the pictures, is there a picture that you took that didn't make the show that you wish made the show?
There's a photo that I took that Breezy wish made the show.
Which one was?
It's called They Don't Stop in the Rain.
Can you explain it?
Which photo was it?
So I was in North Memphis. I think I was in North Memphis. It might have been North or South. I can't remember. Actually, I was at Royal Studios. And it started to rain, and I walked outside.
Yes.
And there was a little boy and a little girl playing in the water, and in the water it was like a big mattress. It was like a big mattress. It's not here. It's not.
We debated for a minute about that picture. What did we replace it with?
I don't remember what we placed it with, but I love that picture, but it just didn't print how I wanted it to print, because I shot it on a dispo. I shot it on a dispo lens, so I shot it on a disposable camera lens. Like, it's a little 3D printed lens that you put on your camera, and it makes it low quality. It makes it look like a disposable camera. And I just didn't like how it printed when we made it large. But it's a beautiful image.
It was so beautiful. Even though it didn't look how he wanted it to look. It fit the show. So, and then we had it next to the two guys on the car. So it's like you had the two younger kids. It was just, what we had set up was fine.
It's a beautiful, like I said, two kids playing in the rain in a big puddle. Yeah, it just spoke to a lot of different things.
I'm gonna post that image. You say what?
What y'all breaking? So y'all sit down somewhere.
What'd you say? Oh yeah.
It might be on my Instagram. I can't remember.
I'm gonna post it, and whenever we make a post from this.
It's actually in your.
It's actually like my favorite.
It's in your carousel right now already.
It's in my carousel.
Yeah, it's already in there.
All right. Any other questions?
In your artist statement, you talk about dark and using dark images and using shadows, and a lot of the images here showcase that, but specifically 4 and 13 show more light. So when you're getting the shot, like, what goes through your head about, like, hey, I'm gonna use shadows versus this needs to showcase more of the faces?
So
What was the number? You said what number?
4 and 13.
Okay.
So I ain't gonna lie on that one. Sometimes with the events I'm going to, sometimes I'm moving very quickly. Like, especially to get some of these images, I'm moving. So sometimes it doesn't even occur to me. Sometimes it doesn't even occur to me the type of image that I'm gonna get. So sometimes we get a brighter image. Sometimes, especially when moving fast. You said 14 and
4 and 13.
Oh, 4 and 13, yeah.
Like the faces.
Yeah.
Everything, where it's like 10 and
Yeah, they're more shadow. Yeah. And really everything happens for a reason. I really just talk it up to that, because even she needed to be, her face needed to be shown a little bit more. I mean, it's it's a really striking image to me. Like, yeah, she needed to glow like that, honestly. But yeah, it just depends. And number 13, like I said, it was at the event, so things happen fast. So sometimes it just happens that way.
Y'all, it's hard doing these events sometimes because it's like you will see a moment, and if you don't catch it, it's like gone, like that.
And then once you start seeing life, so I see life a certain way. So like I'm always seeing like moments, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the beginning of a movie. Like I just go through life like that, just seeing composition, seeing certain moments. And yeah, a lot of times you be like, dang, I can't.
Y'all, we'll be in the car, we'll be riding, like we do this all the time. I be like, that's an image.
Yep.
Or damn, we should stop it, you know what I'm saying, grab this or whatever. But a lot of times it'll be somebody doing something, but you can't go back and recreate it. So
Yeah. And a lot of times we specifically seeking out images that you don't typically see. So specifically, older men in the South. Like if it's an older man in the South, I'm trying to get an image of him because I know he probably don't want no photo taken of him, and he needs a photo taken of him. So yeah, most of the time, yeah. Even the last image that I just saw, like it was an older man, and his eyes were like very striking, like very, very striking. So my favorite quote is like, he knows something. Like, so I don't know, it'd be a random, maybe it's an old man with a dangling earring. I'm like, yeah, he knows something. I got to go talk to him. I got to have a conversation with him and figure out what he know. And I have a conversation with him.
I do want you to speak on that because a lot of times it's not even about it is about the image, but a lot of times it's about the story when you're talking to these people, when you're hearing their story. So tell us a little bit about like how you experienced that, like how do you build trust with a subject, like a person that you don't know, when you see them, you're like, oh, I need to get a portrait of them. Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So it's really, so I view it as, I feel like if you see me, hopefully you see that we're one of the same, like that I'm your people's. Like hopefully you see that. Dang, I forgot the question. My bad.
How do you? So being in the field a lot of times in these communities, sometimes, like you said, especially a lot of older men, they don't want to be photographed. So like, how do you go about building that trust with them?
Yeah. So in the Delta, when I'm in Mississippi or the Delta, I initiated with, I'm from the Delta, I'm from Winstonville. Off top, if you older, you like, Winstonville, boy,
Them your people.
who your folks?
Yep.
They gonna connect with. They gonna ask who your peoples are, and like I said, if you older, you gonna tell me that you used to party in Winstonville. You gonna have to kill me if you tell me what you used to do in Winstonville. Like that's what they say. They like we used to have a time in Winstonville. So that's my kind of end, like them wanting to figure out who my folks are. You know, who if I'm in Memphis. It's really more so. Hopefully, you see that we one of the same. Like, and even like I mean, just having human conversation. Just know that I'm. This is an act of love. Like I'm trying to. I don't want to. I'm trying to capture the beauty in you. Like, or yeah. So. Yeah, that's kind of how that go.
You just brought me back to this. I did want to ask that. So at the end of the artist statement, this work ultimately asks us to slow down, to look again, and then look deeper. This is a reclamation, a love letter. This is beauty, my people. This is a reclamation, love letter. Who is this a love letter to? Is it your people or is it somebody else?
Yeah. This is definitely a love letter to the folks that look like me. This is a love letter to the South. I was talking to Worm because I guess just being an artist, you really
Just saying these names. Worm is another photographer.
My bad. That drink on me. My bad. That drink on me. Worm is another photographer. I was talking to him, and just being an artist, you want your work to be respected. You want it to be valued as fine art. Like I want people to like, this is fine art. These things are valuable. And I guess like I was having a conversation with him, and he was like, just being an artist, you always had that conversation with like, who is the work really for? And I don't know, like there's always a tug between, I guess, like giving too much, or I mean, once again, thinking about who is your work meant to be for. But yeah, no, this work is definitely for my people. And at the same time, I do want this work to be valued as fine art. I definitely do. And I feel like it's for whoever understands it. Like, yeah, I feel like it's for whoever understands it.
For sure, for sure. Were there any more questions? I know we had hop into some more. What's up?
With as much emotion that's shown in your pieces, do you feel like some of that heaviness or emotion while you're taking the pictures, or is it more just like, let me get this shot, and then you see it when you're developing it and editing it later?
So it just it varies. Sometimes off top, I feel it so strongly, but other times I don't even know I have the image until I go back and I look through all my stuff. Like sometimes the image doesn't even pop up and speak to me for real until I just go through and I sit on it and it just takes some time. But at certain moments, I do recognize, like when I'm actively pressing the button, I'm like, oh my goodness, this moment is happening, and I'm capturing it. So yeah, it's kind of sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I definitely feel every moment, for sure. Any more questions out there?
How do you feel like this journey of being a photographer, being an archivist, how do you feel like it's helping you personally?
How I feel like it's helping me personally. I always say with this work, I feel like you have to have a big heart, and you have to have a heart for people. I feel like it's just deepening my relationship with the community around me, with people around me, and that's always gonna take you a long way, just connecting with people. I just always try to move out of love. It's people out here actively moving malicious, and I don't be understanding it, but like, I feel like this work is just deepening my connection with others, and that's one thing I love about this work, just being able to connect, just hear hella different stories that people have to share with me, especially in the South. Like, folks gonna have plenty of stories. So yeah, just a deeper love for people. Anybody else?
Oh, you was
I
waiting.
was waiting for my bag.
Oh no, she was
She
waiting.
was just waiting. Y'all did it on y'all own time.
I find like every detail of an exhibit really matters. I'm really admiring this green, deep green, and like, I don't know if there was intention behind that, but I feel like there's something about your work that this hue really emulates every single piece. What's the color? And then also what behind it, like, just talk through the philosophy of how you put this together.
Ooh, so I think Breezy should speak to that.
All right. So of course, chose this green because it's very reflective of his work. And we also, with it being the South, I think earlier, you guys may have missed it, but we wanted to incorporate a plant called kudzu throughout the exhibition, but it doesn't bloom until July. I think
No, the fall.
I thought it was like late July or something.
Yeah.
Into the fall.
Yeah, I think it blooms this month. So
yeah, but whatever.
Yeah,
we didn't have the kudzu. We couldn't get it because it's not here yet. But it's when you ride down the highway, especially in the South, especially in Mississippi.
So how many have y'all seen kudzu? Y'all seen kudzu? It's typically on a building. It takes over. Yeah. I'm just making sure y'all seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so one we wanted to incorporate. So Kam he's from Winstonville, Mississippi. He grew up between there and Mound Bayou. And when he first got to Memphis, Orange Mound was the first community that he was introduced to. And so this, we'll call it a motif, this image right here, it incorporates oranges, kudzu, and magnolia. Magnolia is the state flower of Mississippi. And so, since we didn't have the actual kudzu and everything, the magnolia, we just said we'll, get an image made with it. And so, we wanted to show the connection between Mississippi and Memphis because, they call us like country cousins. A lot of, especially back in the day, a lot of talent would flow along Highway 61, Blues Highway. A lot of talent was coming up through Memphis. A lot of shows were happening here. And so we kind of looked at it, this is like the artery, the bloodline, like that he's kind of following in the footsteps of people who came before him with his talent coming up to Memphis. Yeah, I said why we did the green. And yeah, that's pretty much what's up. You was about to say something?
The name of the color was kind of weird.
Oh, it's
He got the card somewhere.
I'm gonna look. It's in my phone. I'll look through my phone and I'll tell you.
And I'm posing a question like, cause I'm finding that just being from Mississippi, I always say all y'all Memphians, y'all folks from Mississippi, some type of way, y'all know folks from Mississippi. I'm posing, what would Memphis be for real without us Mississippians? What would Memphis be without us Mississippi? No, real talk. And really, and on some real shit, like that's something that needs to be. We need to dive more into that, and Memphians need to accept that more, and really this is what, and that's one of my missions with this exhibition. I'm always trying to connect Memphis and Mississippi, always, cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, Memphis wouldn't be shit without Mississippi. But we need each other. We need each other. We need each other, for real. We need each other. So I'm glad to ruffle some feathers. That drank on my ass, y'all. That drank on my ass. That drank on my ass.
We'll let it slide. We know he been drinking.
Are we gonna conclude? We should actually conclude with that. We should close with that.
But no, is that any other questions though?
I got a statement though. You were saying how you want your photos to be viewed as fine art. They're fine art because you said so.
Appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. You right. You definitely right.
Yeah.
Any last questions? After this, yeah, it's some more wine. Y'all can drink the rest of it. We finna get ready to get out of here though. 9 o'clock hard stop, and I appreciate everybody for coming out here, viewing the work, beauty of my people. This is the closing. Appreciate y'all.